A warm welcome to all of you for the wonderful wisdom sharing session by Master Saroja Gullapalli Madam. And Saroja Gullapalli Madam is a wonderful, great spiritual master. She's a self-empowerment coach and she's a counselor. And she's guiding through her meditation workshops and sessions, through her counseling, many people in the world. So she has an in-depth knowledge about the spirituality and the subjects. Please do utilize the wonderful wisdom sharing session by Saroja Gullapalli Madam, and please to ask any doubts if you have. Madam will answer your questions. Please feel free to ask any doubts you have, my dear friends. And over to you, ma'am. Welcome again.
Thank you, Shri. Thank you for hosting this session, and welcome everyone from different time zones. It's a great pleasure to be again meeting you on this platform. We just caught up a few weeks back, and it gives me great pleasure to connect to great people like you from time to time. And today being one of a very auspicious day, as you all know, it's a Buddha Purnima, and many of you would have started your day with a nice meditation with different musics available. We're very lucky. There are many meditation camps going on around the globe. So I hope you have given it a good start of your day. I'm sharing slides on this Zoom platform. So for people who are attending my workshop for the first time, we will use the aid of these slides as I go through my talk. So this platform that I do these workshops for 2019 is called Self-Empowerment 2019 Online Workshops. And this particular series is for especially organized or scheduled for the UK time zone, because otherwise normally we do it a little bit earlier, which happens to be quite early for UK time. So thanks to Shri for her wonderful coordination and making it possible for this different time zone. My name is Saroja Gullapalli, as Shri mentioned. Shri has given a great introduction, but just to say or share with you, if you are a first timer on my platform, I'm an engineer by profession. I'm a big believer and promoter of living a complete and balanced life through self-empowerment. I also believe in perceiving life from an holistic approach. Life is not what we see or what is evident through our naked eyes. There's a lot going on behind us. And the next session, not for the UK time people, it'll happen a little bit later, but for the other time zone, the next session that we are going to talk about is holistic living. And in that workshop, we will be talking about how to perceive life from a holistic approach. But I'm a big believer and promoter of balanced life and the holistic life approach. I received an award from the Government of Victoria in 2011 for my service to the community. I've been very fortunate to have been attending some of the international conferences that I've mentioned below. The 5th International Conference in Chicago on integrating spirituality and holistic living. And another one that I will never forget is the First World Parliament of Spirituality, where I had the great opportunity to talk about how to raise children with holistic approach and self-empowerment in a material world full of challenges. In one of the sessions this year, we will be talking about spiritual parenting, and we'll have a workshop on that too. Now coming to my community work, is a list of the couple of things that I do address as part of my community work. So I do self-empowerment workshops and holistic living workshops face-to-face. And this year we have started online because it helps us to connect to the whole globe whenever we like. I also do a lot of counseling sessions face-to-face as well as on phone. And most of you are availing my services, so you do know that. I hold guided meditation sessions, guided pranic healing sessions. I have multiple focus groups and support network throughout the world. And since the beginning of the year, I have launched a page on Facebook, which is called Saroja Self-Empowerment Platform. So details of my workshop or any other details of my activity on this platform, you can see on this particular page on Facebook. Now, the platform that I'm calling is Saroja Self-Empowerment Book. But what is self-empowerment? Self-empowerment is the science of knowing who you are and your capabilities as human being. We think we know what our capabilities are, but most of us do realize that what we see through our naked eyes, or what we realize who we are before we come into this world. When I say this world, into this magic world of spiritual wisdom, is very little. We understand less than 1% of who we are as a human being. And through the platform of self-empowerment, my effort is to bring forward that other 99% of who you are so that you can fully avail your capabilities. And today is one of those sessions. So step by step in my self-empowerment workshops, we talk about who we are, and we're peeling all the layers that we have covered ourselves with. And the whole 2019 is an effort to reveal our true nature. Self-empowerment is not only the science, but it's also the art of how do we train ourselves to have this miraculous thinking. Once we know who we are, then the next question is, how do we put our true nature into practice? And through these workshops, we are learning how to build resilience. And when I say resilience, the so-called challenges that we always claim that we are facing, how as a divine being can we be prepared to take these challenges and not complain? Through these workshops, we will be learning how to peel away those layers that truly hide our true nature. We've also been learning mindfulness technique to harness that inner strength that we don't see through our naked eyes. And last but not the least, this platform helps us to build numerous support network with like-minded people. And that like-minded people, my friends, is so important to understand, as most of us already know, because what we are discussing through this platform is not something that we are going to read or hear or discuss in the material world on a day-to-day basis. So whatever we discuss and learn in these workshops, we need to keep always in touch with that. And how do we do that? Because these workshops happen like once in a month or twice in a month. And what about the other 30 days in the month? And as you great people have already formed great support networks with like-minded people, that is the only way we keep in touch with our divine nature throughout. My vision is to build a community, which I've already started building long time back, with individuals who believe in themselves. When I say individuals who believe in themselves, that means that we are not trying to seek help from outside, because we know that the strength that we are looking for is all within us. So individuals who believe in themselves and have miraculous thinking that aids in overall growth of humanity. That's my vision. And this workshop is a small effort in that direction of my vision. So welcome to the May workshop, my dear friends. This is the UK Self-Empowerment Workshop series. The last one I had was in March, where we talked about how and where to seek happiness. In the month of May, that's today, we have moved on to our next workshop. And today we are going to talk about explore our divine nature. As I was going through the last two slides, I did mention what is self-empowerment. And I did talk about self-empowerment as the science of knowing who you truly are as a human being. So when I say who you truly are, I did mention that what we can see with our naked eye, or what we can really feel ourselves through our five sensory organs, is very limited. There is that 99% of us who, with those five sensory organs, can never be perceived. And today we are going to talk about that divine nature, who we are. But many of us cannot connect or do not understand what it is. Explore Our Divine Nature workshop. This is the 5th workshop of Explore Our Divine Nature that I've been doing this year. We've been doing this for different time zones, and it gives me great pleasure to talk about this wonderful topic once again. Because this is not someone else's topic, this is our topic. We are not exploring someone else's divine nature. We are exploring our own divine nature. So before we enter into this topic, where does this all start from? For those people who attended my early workshop, How and Where to Seek Happiness, this workshop, Explore Our Divine Nature, is basically a flow on from How and Where to Seek Happiness workshop, or you can call it as a sequel. In the workshop, How and Where to Seek Happiness, just to recap a few things, we talked about many interesting aspects. We talked about what is life. Just to have a quick recall, we said life is about living every moment completely, blissfully, with complete awareness. We also mentioned when you're content and happy with just being here and now, that's when you're living every moment with awareness. And we did place a lot of emphasis on the word awareness. You cannot have happiness without awareness. Awareness and bliss goes hand in hand. We did also talk about happiness is a choice. We also said happiness is a state of mind. We did talk about life doesn't have to be a struggle, and each moment can be managed with joyous adventures through mindfulness. As we went through the last workshop, How and Where to Seek Happiness, we placed a lot of emphasis on how important it is to live in the current moment or the present moment if you're looking after or if you're looking or seeking for happiness. We also talked that life does not have a measuring tool. So looking at people and comparing yourself with them will not make you better, because you may not know that you have a lot of blessings that others will envy for. We also talked about be grateful for what you have, and that's the first step for happiness. People who are grateful for what they have in their life, it's a flow-on effect that they get more to be grateful for. And that's the basic crux of how to be happy. We talked about independence in that workshop. We said we all think that we know what is independence. We all claim that we are all independent. We come from an independent country, we come from an independent state, but then we also talked what true independence means, to be dependent on yourself, only on your inner being. We did talk about that. We also talked about what makes us not happy, which is anger. And to recap, what's anger? We said non-acceptance of things which are beyond our control. If we accept it, it becomes tolerance. So there is a very fine line between anger and tolerance. And we went through all the details. We also talked about we go by labels that we have been tagged. So we do not have to go by anyone's labels. So tear those labels and get your freedom. So I'm kind of recapping what we talked in the session, How and Where to Seek Happiness, because that's where we are slowly segueing into today's topic. So now the slide that we have in front was the last slide we had in our happiness session. So we said the key to simple happiness is being in the present moment, because we realize that all our problems, traumas, and anxieties, they are mind-based. You may be seeing it physically, but it all starts in your mind. How you take your situation is totally dependent on your state of mind. We did talk about how we are moving away from happiness when you're dwelling in the past, which is nothing but regrets, or anticipating the future, which is quite uncertain. We did talk about time only exists in the mind. And the most important thing is it keeps you away from the conscious presence of who you already are. So we said for conscious living, you have to be in the present moment, which is your doorway to freedom, because when you are in the present moment, the cosmic energy, the life force flows through you freely. So in the end of the last session, we did mention the practice of present moment awareness and acceptance of present moment sets you free from all negativity. Very important to understand that, how important is being in the present moment. On the occasion of Buddha Purnima today, many of us would have tried to connect ourselves to the present moment through meditation. And if you people remember, we also talked about techniques when you're not in meditation, or when you are at work, or when you are in somewhere busy in between hundreds of people where you can't close your eyes and meditate and get that peacefulness, then we shared a technique of how to connect to the present moment through your 5 sensory organs. And while we were talking about how important is mindfulness, we did mention that one thing that we need to understand is peel away those layers that truly hide your true nature. All along our lives, we try to become someone that is acceptable to others, or we are always trying to seek approval from others. We feel happy when others appreciate, and we feel sad when there's no response or there's a dejection. In other words, we did mention that we have given our life's remote control to others, and as we are trying to please others, we have lost our true identity or who we truly are. But deep inside, we are sad for not being our true self. In this drama of changing identity, I did mention, this is all the last workshop. It's very important, so I'm recapping that so that we can slowly flow through this topic of today, which is explore your divine nature. So in this drama of changing identity, life is slipping by, and we are all set on the end goal, whatever that is. We do not know, but there is some end goal in our fantasy land, and that's where we are all set on journey, and the beauty of life has been lost in this process totally. So in that discussion, we did mention that peel away those layers that you have been covering yourself for long time. Why? As I just said, either to please yourself or to please your own family members near and dear. So whatever makes them happy, you have tried to change your identity to that. Whatever makes them sad, you have tried to take out that part of you to make yourself acceptable to the larger community or to the immediate smaller community, which could be your family. So in this process of covering yourself with layers, the true identity that you are, the true nature of yours has already been concealed. So in today's topic, we will be discussing about how do we peel those layers that we have covered ourselves with. Why? Because that divinity that we carry within ourselves, we can get in touch with. Every day when we face a challenge, a so-called challenge, when do we call an opportunity a challenge? A particular situation is called a challenge when we think we are not sure we have the capability of facing it. We may not. When that doubt comes in our mind, we call that situation a challenge. And when you can overcome the challenge, you feel very good about yourself. When we cannot, you also see the downsides of it. Many times, the extremes will be people going to anxiety, people going to depression, and then we start calling that, oh my God, my life is full of challenges. When you realize that there is no challenge that comes into your life which is beyond your capability, then that myth gets burst. You have a nature which is divine. The divinity that you carry within you is way, way beyond any situations that can come into your life. So if we are complaining that we are having challenges, if we are complaining that my life is full of burden because I have challenges that I cannot cope with, then what is wrong is we do not understand who we are, and we believe that we are that physical entity that a normal human being can perceive with his five sensory organs. So today let's talk about who we truly are. And after this workshop, going forward, if there is any challenge that comes into your or my life, you will always remember what you are capable of. And at least if not anything, you will have the hope that yes, this is not a challenge. This is a situation that's come into my life, which I can deal with like I have dealt with everything else. So, when we talk about exploring our divine nature, then we are asking, if the reality is not what we are seeing with our physical eyes, then what is our reality? Again, I would repeat that. I started with saying, peel away those layers that truly hide your true nature. So I'm saying you're not able to see your true nature because you have concealed it with different layers over the time. My dear friends, it need not be in one incarnation. It need not be this lifetime. It could be multiple lifetimes that you're covering your personality with. And let me remind you, your personality is not formed in this lifetime alone. But for people who do not want to go or understand beyond this lifetime, it's absolutely fine. This workshop is for anyone with any kind of understanding. So, if you can just remember that what you are today has not happened overnight. It is the result of your beliefs, it's the result of what was evident to you with your five sensory organs, and that's how you have based your reality. So now for you to think that you are more than what you're thinking what you are, and when I have thrown such a loaded statement at you saying, if you have a situation in life, do not cry that it's a challenge, because you are capable of handling much more than that, because that's the law of creation. Nothing will come into your life which you are not capable of coping with. That is the basic law of creation. We will be talking in next few workshops about law of karma for the UK time zone. But for other time zones, I've already covered the law of karma. What goes around comes around. In that workshop, we have discussed in detail that we only bring situations, or we only face situations in life that we are truly capable of. So if that is the story, where is the gap coming? If I see life as a challenge, and here Saroja is saying that your divine nature you're not able to see, and you are capable of facing any challenge that comes into your life, then where is the gap? Why am I not able to see that? Why am I not able to feel that? And that's what we are discussing now. So first, let's find out what is our reality. If we do not know what's our true nature, then what is our true nature? Who are we? And what are our inner strength? Because till you know what's your inner strength, you cannot harness it. You cannot harness it, you cannot put into use for whatever purpose you want to make your life better or whatever it is. So, very important to understand what is our reality, who are we, And what are our inner strengths? My dear friends, 4 principles of life that describe our true nature. There could be umpteen principles. You can never pinpoint to a definite number of things in life. In one of the workshops, we will be talking about quantum energy, and I will share with you that any situation in your life is a result of 1,000 dynamics that go around in the nature or in the universe. But because we have limited time, this is a workshop, this is a finite time. And by the way, when we are talking about time, this workshop, if the flyers that we have given around, or the Zoom flyer that came around, we did say hour and a half, but there is 50% chance that this workshop will continue maybe more than 2 hours. So maybe at this point I just tell people, she will let you know when it's 1.5 hours, and whoever wants to drop, it's fine. But the people who want to continue can continue with me as long as the workshop goes. So it's a good opportunity for me to talk about it when we are talking about this finite time. Anyway, back to the topic. So there could be multiple things, but there are always some key things that we need to take as key takeaways from any workshop, from any discussion, from any conversation that will last as learnings for lifelong. So for today's workshop, like last workshop, how and where to seek happiness, I recapped the key learnings before this workshop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 key learnings that we learned from the last workshop. Similarly, for this workshop, I would emphasize on the 4 key principles of life that describe our true divine nature. Why do I keep talking about divine and divinity? Why don't I simply say your human nature? Why don't I just say nature? Why do I have to add the word divine, divinity? Because, my dear friends, we do not realize how divine we are, each one of us. I'm not saying we all. I know there are a lot of people on the platform, this platform, who, like me, are on this path of seeking truth for quite some time. And if not completely, we do understand to a great extent who we truly are. But then the path that we have stepped on is to have that practical approach, the practical connection of our divinity. But for others who have just heard this word divinity in us, what I mean to say is, we do not have to separate ourselves from that omnipresence. When I call that omnipresence, I mean you can call it in any term, Paramatma, consciousness, name it by any form, any name. When we separate ourselves thinking that we are so small, we are so helpless, we are so divine, immediately we have separated ourselves from the source. Because, my dear friends, that consciousness that we think is omnipresent, benevolent, and powerful is the source of all our human beings. Or why human beings? For all species. So surely, if you can't believe that you have got all the divinity of that Paramatma or omnipresence, at least if you are connected to that consciousness, or if you are a descendant of that consciousness, if you carry at least a bit or an ignition of that consciousness, definitely you would have a part of the divinity. If you cannot comprehend the complete divinity, at least you will understand that part of that will be your nature. So with that liberty, I call that nature, divine nature of ourselves. So when we talk about our nature, remember it's our divine nature, it's not simple nature. And today the 4 principles that I'm going to talk about are the 4 key principles. It's our life story, it's the story of our divinity. As you learn about this principle, each one of you should be growing in size. What do I mean by growing in size? For people who come from, who understand Hindu mythology, they understand the story of Hanuman. Hanuman has the capability of growing in size
Laguma and Garima, he can grow in size, he can become small. What is growing in size? Each one of us can grow in size. When I say, when you know your divinity, you will feel you're growing in size, because when you realize how divine you are, you won't feel that you are bound in this human body the way you are seeing. You may still be the same to the naked eye. People who can only connect with five sensory organs will still see you the same, but you will not feel the same, because once you understand your divinity, your life has changed forever. Forever, my dear friends, and that's how my life changed too. And I know there are many masters on this platform who are attending my workshop today who feel like me or much, much greater than me. There is no comparison. Whoever can relate to that divinity, it is his or her limit. It is his or her way of expanding their understanding. So what are these four principles? These four principles are four principles of creation. Very important. I'm now talking about our creation, because if it's our true nature, then it has to be linked from the time we are created. So yes, my dear friends, these four principles are principles of creation that describe who we are. These four principles that I'm going to talk to you about, they are the governing principles of life. This is who we truly are. Your soul's purpose coming to this plane, coming to this earth plane, was to manifest itself through you in harmony with these four principles. So my dear friends, many of us understand. People who do not understand, when we talk about holistic living in the next workshop, we will go through this in much more detail, that how we come with different purposes in our life. So each soul, the basic understanding, I'm sure we all understand, we all have a soul in ourselves, and each soul incarnates on this physical plane with a purpose. So when that soul, you and I, are manifesting through this body whatever we have come for, whatever goal that might be, you are manifesting your goal through these four principles, through the aid of these four principles that I'm going to talk about. This has been our backbone. As a non-physical being, we live in perfect harmony with these four principles. But when we come here on this earth plane as a physical being, the so-called Maya or delusion makes us totally unaware of these four principles of creation that we truly are. So what does that mean, my dear friends? I mean, when we finish this incarnation, leave our physical body and go back to the realm where we came from, these four principles are very much evident, because when you are in your non-physical body, this is your baseline. Nobody has to come and tell you that this is your divine nature and you live by these four principles, because it's very evident. Where it is not evident is when you are on this earth plane living in Maya. Now, many of my friends here on this platform who are attending this for the first time, my self-empowerment workshop, for the first time, if you're attending, I'm sure you must be thinking, if you haven't heard about physical entity, non-physical entity, if you have never discussed these kind of things in your life, you must be thinking, where the hell did I land? What is this workshop about? Should I immediately quit? My dear friends, if you happen to be one of those persons that has never heard these words, non-physical being or physical entity or energy being or soul, and if it scares you to even think about that you are a soul, all I would request is have some patience, stay with me till the end of the workshop, and you will have more clarity, because Whether you agree or not, my dear friends, this is the story of our soul. Whether you recognize or not, we all have a soul within us. And we all incarnate time and again on this plane to manifest different purposes of our soul through different lifetimes. So, in between the lifetimes, when you're not in the physical body, remember that you are in the non-physical realm. That's what I was trying to convey. As a non-physical being, I mean in between incarnations when you do not have a physical body. That gap when you are not holding this body, that is when you are in your energy form. And it's very easy for you to understand these 4 principles because you're so close to who you truly are. You are the creator. It's a very loaded statement for many people to take the responsibility that I create my reality is too much of a burden. Because for a normal human being, it is very easy to place the responsibility in someone else and say, I have put my responsibility of my well-being on you, and that makes me a free human being. I can do whatever I want, and if things don't go well, then I can always come and blame you. That's fine, my dear friends. If you want to live your life that way, that's fine. Nobody's going to stop you. But someday, one day, through the process of evolution that we all go through, we all understand at one point or other that we create our own reality. I will not go through too much detail about this again because I do not want to sidetrack from our topic of explore our divine nature. But when we talk about holistic living, we will be talking about this in much more detail. I know many of you do understand, so I do not have to go back and tell, but this is for the friends that have joined and for them who have been listening to this kind of conversation for the first time. So the effort is, let's take along with us people who are at the same understanding or who are at different understanding. Let's all take everyone along on this bandwagon as we move along, as we move forward on this topic. So coming back to where I was, we are the creators of our own destiny, and it is through that which we create that we learn to know ourselves. So how do we learn to know ourselves? When we start creating, so how are we creating things? You do not have to manifest physical things. For human beings, the way we have been for centuries, when we think of creating, immediately physical things come into your mind. If I'm creating something, that means it has to be something physical creation. My dear friends, creation can be at any level. It can be at mental level, it can be at physical level, it can be at psychosomatic level, different levels. But the bottom line is, we understand we're all energy beings. We did talk about we all are energy beings. Again, for people who haven't been connected to this discussion before, as I do not want people to have doubts in their mind if they haven't heard this before, every thought, every word, every action is nothing but energy coming out of us in different vibration forms. Every physical, every living being, every non-living entity is nothing but energy vibrating at different frequency. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a rock or a laptop or a human being, the building block, the unit is nothing but pure energy vibrating at different frequencies. Different frequencies make it manifest as different forms. That's all it is. Now, if it is a thought, it is also an energy. So when you say you're creating your reality, for the basic thing, if you cannot relate what is creation, if you think creation means only creating physical things, and you have seen many yogis and people who create things out of thin air, and you think you can't create that, so you're not a creator. Leave that discussion for a minute. Understand that when I say creation, creation can be any situation. To a soul incarnating in physical form, creation is nothing but creation of experience. My dear friends, very important to understand, creation means creation of experience. Because even if you have a physical thing in front of you, so let me give you an example. You have a chocolate in front of you, it's a physical thing. But what is that to you? When you eat that chocolate, the experience that you have in your mouth, the taste, that is what goes into your subconscious level as an experience. When you feel the chocolate, the texture of it, that goes in your memory and goes into your subconscious level as a feel of experience, as an experience of feel of your chocolate. So I'm trying to make you understand that when you are saying experience, it need not be experience of a physical thing alone. It can be experience of any situation. So when we come through this physical plane, when we are having this physical incarnation, we are creating experiences. Let me give you one example. Creating one of the experiences. We meet people, that's creating experience. Different people come into your life, that is an experience. Your family, your immediate family unit, your interaction with your husband or wife or children, everything is an experience that you have manifested through this life. So through every experience we are gaining knowledge about what? About ourselves. And that is how we come to know about our divine nature little by little, little by little. But it takes a long time. Why it takes a long time? It takes a long time because with every experience we are stretching our visualization of ourselves a little bit more. We are stretching our boundary of what we think who we are by a tiny bit more with every experience. See for yourself different challenges that come into your life. They are all mere experience to make you know who you are. Every time you go through that experience, you're pushing your boundaries a little bit more, and that expands who you are by a little stretch. So if you go through this path little by little, either through this lifetime or through multiple lifetimes, the ultimate goal is to know who you are and what you're capable of. And what we are doing today is literally a crash course. We are learning to know who we are through this workshop, which otherwise we will or would have learned through our experience little by little, little by little. That's what incarnations are all about. Incarnations that we come through, the physical incarnations, it gives us an opportunity to experience who we are through different experiences that we bring into our life. So every lifetime is a different experience. Every lifetime is for a different goal. Every lifetime is for different learning. No two lifetimes will be the same because every lifetime has got a different agenda. So you have different experiences. And that's how little by little you come to know through your divine nature. So you are that physical extension of the non-physical being. And as such, you are tapped into the same pure conscious energy that created world. So like what I said, if any one of you feel that you are unworthy and you're very small, you cannot be, because you are extension, you are the physical extension. When you are in this body, you are the physical extension of that non-physical being. What is that non-physical being? That non-physical being is your soul. And the one thing that ignites your soul is that pure consciousness, the Chetana, the pure, the Sat Chit Ananda that we call the Chit, that is the Chetana, that is the pure consciousness because of which the whole world is created and you're part of this world. So if the consciousness, that's the basis of this whole world, it has to be very, very magnificent and beautiful. If you are the physical extension of that, then how magnificent you should be. Then why are we feeling so limited? So first let's talk about what is our nature, and then we will talk about the different challenges that we feel that we are facing and why our true nature doesn't come in front of us. Now, we have different definitions of God, but one thing to make it very easy for this platform or for this discussion, let's talk God as being the field of unifying consciousness that binds us all together. So what I'm saying is, for this discussion, if this makes you understand, then God is that consciousness or that field that connects everything. It is so easy to put this into thinking, whatever it is. So for example, in front of you, you have a laptop or a phone, yourself. Just visualize that there is an energy or a consciousness or a stream that you can't see with naked eye, that's connecting everything that's there within your room, whether you can see it or not. That will give you the omnipresence of that consciousness, how widespread it is, how big it is, how beautiful it is. The reason I'm giving you the beauty and the bigness is to make you understand that if you're a part of that, how magnificent and big we must be. There is no particular individual being called God. For each one of us is an individual expression of that whole. So to make it easy, let's call that complete consciousness as one whole. Purnam. In Sanskrit, we say Purnam. And there is a very beautiful verse in Veda which says Purnamidam, Purnamadaha. So it's basically saying everything is complete. You know, this is complete, that is complete. The whole world is complete. How can the whole world and creation be complete if we all do not share the same divinity? So definitely we carry the same divine quantities or qualities of that supreme consciousness. And today's term, I said the consciousness is that unifying field that connects everyone. So the four principles of creation that defines your true nature are qualities that are part of you, and at the same time, though they are part of you, you do not know that they are part of you, and you always strive towards those qualities. That is the sad state of affair, because you don't realize that it is within you. You are always looking for it. You know how ironic it is. Things that you are holding within you, you're looking for it outside. Isn't that irony? That is what we are going to discuss today, my friends. So, in today's workshop, we're going to talk about 4 principles of life that describe our true nature, which is in blue. And not only that, we'll also be talking about tools to enhance the emergence of this principle into our life. So what does it mean? If I talk about a principle on the left-hand side, I will also discuss or share with you a tool or technique to bring it into our lives. Now, what is bringing? If it's already there in your life, why do you have to bring it? If it is already there in your life, then how do you bring it onto the surface? Or how do you emerge it? Emerge is discovering or flowering. So through this workshop, let's try to discuss about those tools and techniques with the help of which we can understand or bring it onto the surface of our divine nature, so that we can be connected to it all the time and make use of our divine nature whenever we want, or even when we do not want. Let us be close to our divine nature. So let's talk about it. The first divine nature, first principle of life that describes our true divine nature is love. Now, many of you must be thinking, what's so big deal about love? We talk about it all the time, every time. So what is Madam talking about? My dear friends, the love that we talk about could be a very transactional love. If you start looking at the term love that you have been using so far, most of the things you do on the name of love is only because that gives you happiness, not the other person happiness. Many times you go to a person and say, I love you, and you think that you're doing that person a big favor, but whatever you're doing for that person mostly is because that gives you happiness. That gives you some kind of a compensation. Many times it's not even that noble. Many times we are using the term love to manipulate people. You know, in many times we say, see, I love you, so you must do this for me. Or because I love you, I have done so much for you. This is all emotional blackmailing, my dear friends. So what is that divine love that we are talking about? We have talked several times in different workshops, but because it is very apt for this topic, let's talk about what is that divine love that we need to talk about, because it's part of our divine nature. To put it in a form of definition, it's a very funny definition, but it's a very simple definition too. Love is the total and complete acceptance of what is without judgment. So there are two parts of love. The first part is it's a total and complete acceptance of what it is without judgment. So whoever it is you are saying love, if you happen to accept that person or that thing the way it is without judgment. Why do I say without judgment? Do not judge. It's good, it's bad, or it needs to change. You know, many times you say, oh, I like this thing, but if only, you know, you could be a little bit more polite. That is not the love definition. So the first part of the definition, my dear friends, very important is, if you can accept, love means complete and total acceptance of what is, the way things are, without any judgment, without, you just accept. What's the second part? In love, you have the capacity of allowing others to be who they are. So love is acceptance and allowing. So two things come very clear to us: accept and allowance. And that's what this universe has done for us. The cosmic consciousness, the Paramatma, the God, what we call, has given us true love, because it has given us the free will to be whoever we want, however we want to do. You know, if we want to be in this class, we can be. If we want to get out of the class, we can. If we want to jump, we can. Nobody is asking us to perform in a certain manner. That is allowing people the way they are. Many times, my dear friends, just have a look at your love definition. When you say to people, I love you, are you doing this too? Are you accepting them the way they are? And are you allowing them to be who they are? So, love is not an action. You do not have to love anyone. It is a state of being. When you are in a state of being, which is your true nature, which is unconditional love, this unconditional love term has been used left, right, and center. But can we really understand that and connect to it? Because it's not an action. It is a state of being. It is a state of being. Because that is our true nature. When we are not in this physical form and we are connected to our true nature, we are always in this state. There is no other state. We are always accepting things the way they are, and we are allowing everything around us to be the way it is. But when we come in this physical form, we are away from this definition, because we do not understand our true nature, and then our definition of love keeps changing. Now we are all unique. We are all unique in our own forms. Why? Because, now why I'm talking about uniqueness is because when we talk about love in the physical world, we are always trying to manipulate others. Why? Because we want others to change. We're always looking for people to change so that they're acceptable to us. Why? Because we want everyone to be according to our expectations. How can everyone be like you if each one of us has our own goal or own purpose of manifesting in this physical life? if we have our unique agenda, if we all have come with our own agendas, own goals, definitely we all will be unique. How can you expect two people to be alike? So, if your definition of love is to change everyone to suit your expectation, and if it really happened, then you are creating a robots, a group of robots. They will not be called human beings, because if if you are talking about manifesting to experience your goal, then each one of us are different the way we are. So important thing to understand is we all have different goals. So we all are unique. You are the creator of your own experience. We did talk about it, how we come. We create our own experience. We create our own experience. How? Through the goals that we have come to fulfill. Everything in your experience was attracted to you by your thinking, by your beliefs, by your attention. So what I'm thinking, you will not think the same, because what you have attracted to you, when I say attracted, is the situations, the surroundings, your day-to-day moments that you have attracted is because of your beliefs, because of your thoughts. Now your thoughts and beliefs will not be exactly like mine. So that is why this definition of love is so important. When you apply this love of law, which I just told you what is law, acceptance, allowing, it leads to absolute freedom. Why? Because I am what I am and I allow others to be who they are. And with this, your heart opens up. So when you understand that each one of us has come for different experience, then you understand that you can let go of everyone, because you understand that you are doing what you have to do and the other persons are doing what they have to do, and that is your key to liberation. Very important to understand that, because the lives we lead are totally lives of interference in others' lives, only because we do not understand this principle of allowing. So very important, re-emphasizing, I am what I am and I allow others to be who they are, and this opens up your heart. This liberates, because then you do not have any expectation from anyone else, because they are on their path, you are on your path. And that's the first law of spirituality, which we have talked again and again. Law of non-interference. We have talked about it many times, and this is the basis behind it. When we talk about law of non-interference, it is so important to understand that this universe has given us so much love by giving this free will to do whatever we want. We are beings of free will, and free will is the natural outcome of love from the universe. That is the love from the universe. By beginning to know that you are loved and accepted beyond all measures, you can begin to master the universe laws to create the life you want. When you know that you're being loved by the universe, because we feel we are separated from the source. Half of our depression and anxiety are because we feel alienated, we feel lonely, because we see that we have been separated from the source. So when you start to understand that we have this beautiful love from the universe, first, very, very important to understand that we are all being loved. And what is the proof of that? It is the proof that we are all being given free will to do whatever we want, the way we want to lead our lives. Once that understanding comes, then you see you can begin to master your life the way you want, because you feel so much loved. But many times we hear the word, hatred. I hate. Where is this word hatred coming from? Hatred is non-acceptance of person as he or she is. That the opposite of that is allowing. So when I said allowing means just accepting person as he or she is, non-acceptance of person the way he or she is hatred. When we accept a person unconditionally, doesn't matter who or she is, I'll just allow them to be who they are, I will just accept them what they are, that becomes unconditional love. So my dear friends, there is a very fine line between hatred and love. Very important to understand. I always give you this synonyms, or I always give you this contrast. Like last time I was telling you The fine line between anger and tolerance. So important, like that, very important to understand the fine line between hatred and true love, the unconditional love. The hatred is nothing but non-acceptance of a person the way he or she is. We are trying to manipulate, we are trying to change the other person to meet our expectation. And that's where, when they don't change, that creates hatred in us. And when that fine line is dropped and you accept the person the way he or she is, that becomes your unconditional love. You begin to see who you truly are and the truth of others. When you understand that you are what you are and the others are what they are, because we are on our own journey, we are here to manifest our own experiences, then you begin to see who you truly are. Why did you come here on this plane? You understand the game. You stop interfering, and the more detached you will be from reality, you perceive more. So the more detached you will be from the reality, you perceive. So what I'm trying to say is, when you start to understand this game, that you are on your journey and the other people are on their journey, you slowly start detaching from other people's life. And what you can see with your naked eye, the physical reality you understand, is no longer the real truth. The more true reality starts opening or revealing itself in front of you. When you start allowing, the basic thing is you have to start allowing. So when I was talking about the principles of your true nature, and I said I will give you the tool to bring that love to your surface, not any normal love, not the Bollywood, Hollywood movie love, but the real love, which I said had two parts. One is acceptance, complete acceptance, and the other part was just letting them be who they are. When you learn that, you will see that emergence of love coming up, that divine nature you'll be able to see. So allowing, my dear friends, if you haven't tried this before, after this workshop, when your understanding has shifted a little bit because of the little discussion we are having here, just do small experimenting with allowing things. Don't be so harsh upon your expectations, because your expectation may be good to you because you understand your life alone. You do not understand the next person's reality. When you come to terms with it, you will be liberated from all the stress you have in your life, and then you understand the total game. That is so important. Therefore, more control you will have of your reality and of your experience. You will try to understand why things are happening to me this way, why it's not happening to others in that way. And this is the key to enlightenment. We are thinking, what is enlightenment? Enlightenment is when you understand that your experiences are your experience and others' experience are to manifest their goals, and you just accept everything, not only people, everything around you, the situations, the nature. Don't complain, it's raining, oh my god, I don't want it to rain because I want to go to a party, my dress is going to get wet. This is the lifestyle we are being used to. We want things to be manipulated because we think we understand what we want. We do not know what we want, because many of us don't even understand why we have come on this plane for. So if things are coming to you, if situations are coming to you, they're coming to you for a purpose. And what is that purpose? That is the purpose, that's the goal of your life, that is the experience you have come here to manifest. Do not complain, because whatever situations are coming into your life are to help you gain that experience. Now, if someone is very sick in your family, or if you are terribly sick, yes, it feels terrible when you are sick because you are ailing, you've got problems, but slowly try to understand, analyze in your mind. The beauty of human mind is you have an intellect that drives your buddhi. So you are an intelligent being. You have the capacity to understand, to analyze. So start understanding that that particular sickness has come to you for a purpose. We will talk about this, why sickness would come for a purpose. It's so lame, I don't want to be sick. How come I'm sick? So we will talk about it in a minute. But for this, just accept the things that are coming into your life. allow things and situations and people to be how they are. And that is the true key for your liberation and enlightenment. You'll be free. If not enlightenment, you will feel free of all that burden and stress you have gone through for so long. Now, when we are talking about love, it is so important to understand that love, I always said everything in this creation, the basic unit, the building block is energy. Everything you see is an energy. Your human form, I'm wearing these glasses, my speech, the headphones that I'm wearing, everything is pure energy vibrating in different frequency. If it manifests, if it is vibrating at a lower frequency, you might see the same thing as a table. A bit higher frequency, you see that as water. A little bit higher frequency as gas. So I don't have to tell you all that. Many of you do understand. So if that's what you understand, then understand this. I did say energy, vibration, a different frequency. Love is vibration of the energy at highest frequency. So imagine there is no other higher frequency than love. When pure consciousness is manifesting, the highest frequency through which it's manifesting is love. That is why when you feel that true love or pure love in your heart, what will you feel? You will feel bliss. Why? Because it's the highest frequency of energy. There is nothing more higher than that. That's why you feel so powerful when you are doing things for others from the basis of love, because love is the highest frequency and it is your part of the divine nature. It's part of your natural state. So you're not away from love. You have got it within you, but it's only a matter of understanding or exploring or connecting to you. So as we do not realize that we are the creator of our experience, we have the habit of resisting and disallowing what you do not like. If we put enough energy into what we want, then instead of resisting and fearing against that, we fear our life circumstances would be 1,000 times more aligned with what we want. Most of the time we are resisting. We are putting more energy on what we don't want than what we want. You can analyze your own life. I don't like this, I don't want this, I don't want. Instead of talking about what you do not want, instead of trying to keep fighting about what you don't want, if you can just twist that thinking of yours, just putting that one or two things which you like or which you want to manifest in your life, and if you can just put your energy on that, life would be much more easy and you will be aligned with what you want. And we did talk about law of attraction in my last workshop. I'm not going to repeat again about law of attraction. And my dear friends, this is the easy way of bringing law of attraction into your life. So how do you do it? Stop wasting your energy by focusing on things that you do not want. Focus on things that are important to you and that you want. Only think about what you want. Do not even imagine. Even if it is staring at your face, ignore it. If you can. If you can't, just accept it. Allow it. It'll go. It'll go. That is the beauty of this creation. The more you resist, it persists. You accept and it goes. Many of meditators who would have seen when you sit in meditation, what happens? The moment you close your eyes, different thoughts start coming. What's my boss saying? What's happening here? Blah, 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 blah. And you want to focus on your breath. For example, for people who are doing breath meditation, you want to focus on your breath. But you can't focus on your breath because all these thoughts are coming. So when you get so frustrated and you think, oh my God, all these thoughts, you can never get rid of it. So we've all been taught, great masters have always taught us, what's the easy way? That's all right. Accept them. Go back. Go back where? Go back to what you were focusing on, whether it's your breath or if it's whatever you were focusing on. So this happens again and again, but every time it happens, you just accept the thoughts. No, that's fine. Okay, that's okay. I'll go back to my breath. And that's the exercise we keep doing in meditation. And ultimately, you go in that state where you call it thoughtless state. So that is what it is. The thing that you wanted will automatically come to you in meditation when you stop resisting. If it happens in meditation, then that's what happens in life, even outside meditation. So very important, my dear friends. Remember, use your energy wisely on the things you want. Do not waste your energy on what you do not want, because we all know law of attraction. Where your attention is, energy flows, and energy is nothing but manifestation. You do not want things to be manifesting if that's not what you want, isn't it? So very, very important. So stop resisting. So when you resist, so what happens when you resist? So when you resist, you shut down this flow of life energy coming to you, which reduces your ability to attract any great quantity of what you want in your life. So, you know, the cosmic energy, which we all know when we sit in meditation, you have this rush of cosmic energy when you're in thought-free stage. For people who haven't done meditation before, I'm not sure if there's anyone there here on this platform today who haven't done meditation, but for their sake, just 1 minute. When people do meditation, or when we sit in for meditation, for stress relief or for health reason, whatever the goal may be, and we are trying to focus on our breath, uh, it's what happens is ultimately the goal is that you get aligned to your breath, and then in that thoughtless stage where you have no thoughts, you know, cosmic energy flows freely through your energy system. So when you are doing meditation, you're closing your eyes, and as I said, all thoughts are popping up, and then you just accept the thoughts, cut them, come back to your breath. This process keeps going back and forth, and before you know, you're already aligned with the breath, and you have reached your thoughtless state. And for a long time there are no thoughts, and most of us don't even realize when we reach that state in meditation. And at that point of time, the life force, the cosmic energy is flowing freely. Cosmic energy is always flowing freely, always flowing, but the question is, it's flowing freely or not? That's the question, and we will talk about it in a minute, a little bit more about cosmic energy. But that's also part of why we should be so why you have to stop resisting in life, because that's what I'm trying to show you, that in meditation, when you resist, you can never reach that thought-free state, and that's the beauty of not resisting, and let life force flow freely, and that surrender. It's a different topic, you know. The Surrender Experiment is a beautiful book by Michael Singer. Who haven't read it, I would urge them to read. Beautiful experiment, you know, of how you can let energy flow through you, just by accepting, just by surrendering. That's a different topic, but it's always good to talk about these different things when we go through this workshop. That's how we learn, that's how we expand our understanding. So I was talking about law of attraction. So beauty of law of attraction is, as you stop thinking, you know, the thoughts that are attracting the circumstances, they will stop, you know, being created. So it's all to do with your thinking. So if you're thinking about something, then everything will be attracted towards that. Law of attraction, you know, energy will be flowing. And if there are negative thoughts, I mean, negative, positive is all, you know, how you label it. But if you do not want things to progress in that way, it's very easy. It's just one flick. How do you flick it? By your free will, by your conscious nature. You can always flick your thoughts and say, you can make a decision. No, I'm not going to have my thought flowing in this direction, because I do not want the energy to flow in this direction. So why is it difficult? Why don't we understand these things? The reason being is our belief systems. Things are very easy. You know, if we understand that whatever is manifesting in our life is basically as a result of our thoughts, then it is so simple. We can switch on and off our thoughts, and we can change our life circumstances. Yes, my dear friends, it is that simple. But why it does not appear that simple to us? Because of our belief system. We do not believe that it is so easy. We believe that life cannot be this simple, that we can just, you know, switch on our thoughts, you know, the so-called positive thoughts, or exactly things that we want, and channel our energy to that. We believe it's not that easy, and our belief system is working against us. So what is belief system? We keep saying beliefs. What is this? Beliefs are nothing but repetitive thoughts. You know, if you start thinking something repeatedly, that becomes your belief patterns. Even things, if they are not true, illusion of permanent, like if something is not there, And if you keep thinking of it again and again, then you have that illusion that it's permanent. That's how the belief systems work. And these belief systems are not created in one lifetime. Sometimes they go multiple lifetimes. That is how vasanas in karma workshop I explained, how personalities develop. And the belief systems and personalities go hand in hand. So remember, life force energy is molded and commanded by our thoughts, and thought is the basis of all creation. Very important. Why I'm talking so much about thought? Just to let you know that if you want to allow love, you can. It is not difficult. You could not do it so far because of your thinking process. And why? Because that was the belief system. Belief system can be shattered like that by knowing our true nature. Multiple people, millions of people are experimenting and connecting to their divine nature. If it is only matter of changing here, then why not? If it is only matter of little bit of determination, why not? So remember, thought is the basis of creation. Everything starts here, not outside. Do not blame for anything that's surrounding you, because everything that you are within today is a result of what you have been thinking today or yesterday or maybe in the last century. You wouldn't know where the thought process has started. And when it reaches the critical mass or the critical manifestation timing, it will manifest. Nobody can say when and how. It depends on the intensity of your thought. So it depends on two things. So one is how strong your karma is, how strong your desire. Karma doesn't mean only in one. Karma means desire. The second one, sankalpa, how strong is your intention. So the manifestation depends upon your thought energy, how intent you are in your thought process, and your desire, how intent it is. So everything you disallow in others. See, we are talking about allowing, but do we really allow people to be who they are and what they want to be? No. Why are we not allowing people to be what they are and how they want to be? Because everything you disallow in others is either something you disallow in yourself, or it is linked to a belief that is limiting you in some way. Very important, my dear friends. If you are not happy with something in somebody else, it is not the other person's problem. I will repeat again. If you are not allowing something in others, then you have something that you are not allowing in yourself, or it is linked to a belief in you that is limiting you in some way. So this is called projection. What you cannot allow in yourself, you cannot allow in others, and you project it onto others, and hence you are not able to allow that in others. So every judgment is about your lack of love for yourself. If you are seeing any judgment, you're making judgment about others, remember, it's about your lack of love for yourself and has literally nothing to do with person or situations that's being judged. Very important. If you think you do not like something in others, that means there is a strong story within you that you are not happy about, but you do not know, you are not able to analyze that, or you do not want to accept it or acknowledge. I'll give you one or two examples, my friends. It's worth that you go back and see what examples you can find in your life to go through this thinking that I will help you in this workshop. So I'll give you two examples that I tried to write down for myself. It's a very general example. So I'm sure, many of you can relate to this. Like, if I had to write down, I would say, I don't like greedy people. This is such a statement. If I see a friend or someone sitting next to me and is greedy, it's going to be very difficult for me to allow him to be greedy. So I'm asking this question to myself: what is your problem? If your friend is greedy, why don't you like him? And the process is, keep asking questions, and you see, you will be surprised to see what kind of answers come to you. So when I start asking question, why don't I like greedy people? The first answer that comes to me is because they are selfish. So if you say they are selfish, then what's your problem? If I ask that question to myself again, why don't I like selfish people? Because There is not enough to go around in the world, and if they are selfish, they will have everything. So if they have everything, what is your problem? Then the problem is very obvious, my friend. I'm not able to have what I want. Why? Because I always wanted more, and my problem is it never comes to me. So what is the bottom line here for me? There isn't enough. This is how I see the world. There isn't enough, or I'm not allowed to have what I want. Hence, my projection is I don't like greedy people. This is how we judge this world, my dear friends, and we make our lives miserable because we don't want to accept that we have a limitation within us. I'll give you another example, very general examples. You know, snobs who think quite high about themselves. We come across them all the time. So we say, I don't like snobs. Try this question, why don't you like snobs? And I did it. And it's like, oh, because they think they are very superior. So what's your problem if they think they are superior? Because they make me feel inferior. See, it finally comes back to you, because if they feel superior, what's your problem is you feel inferior. And so what's the problem if you feel inferior? When I feel inferior, what's the bottom line, my friends? I feel I'm not good enough. You see? I feel the lack is within me. It's not within other people. You know, they may be just fine. So this is the problem we are facing. So I would encourage each one of you on this platform to see what they cannot allow in others, and keep digging, and you will see the ultimate answer is the problem is within you, and hence you are projecting it to someone else. So when I did this workshop few weeks back, I was amazed, you know, the number of examples that came from around 50 or 60 people along the same lines. And I encourage everyone to do this exercise. You know, certain behavior of people we can't stand. Pick one of that behaviors. I told you two of things that often bothered me, the greedy people and the snobs. And when I started digging deeper and deeper, it came back to me. So do an exercise and see what bothers you, and keep digging till the answer, till you have no answer left. And I would be surprised if it doesn't end up with you. So my dear friends, the problem is you feel something is lacking within you and you're not able to allow that. Just because you're not able to allow that, you're projecting that onto others, and you're not allowing that to happen in others. So the solution is, you cannot fix the world outside. The problem is within you. What is the problem? Problem is not that you have an issue. The problem is you feel that you have an issue, and you feel that you're lacking something, and hence you cannot love yourself. So that love that I'm talking, I'm not saying that it is about acceptance of others and allowing others. It starts with yourself. You have to start it with accepting you the way you are. That's the first thing. Allowing yourself to be whatever you are. Short, tall, fat, skinny. How many of us, you know, we keep going through this, oh, I'm fat, you know, I have to go. It's okay if you think you're fat, but it's not okay if you think low about yourself, or you think you're not acceptable because you're fat. We do this. This is a common example. You know, the diets and the exercise, nothing wrong in doing karma. Do what you want, but do not do because what you are is not acceptable. That is not love. That is why you are not feeling connected to that divine love within you. Because first of all, you have to accept your own self before you can accept anyone. So my dear friends, love yourself and accept yourself, and you will automatically love all the things, all beings, without doubt. So when I gave you those two examples, it is that easy. You know, we find fault in everyone else because somewhere deep in the conscious, in the subconscious mind, we know that we are lacking that, and we don't feel ourselves worthy. And it all starts with self-criticism. So first start with allowing whatever it is, you know, just allow yourself to be whoever you are, and then see how things change. Your heart will open up. You will be able to allow the whole world. With that, we come to the next one. What is the next principle? Health and well-being. Health and well-being is our right. Though it does not appear in the real physical world, Most of us, I wouldn't say 100% because there's always exceptions. Most of us that we know of or we come across have got some disease or some problem or some physical thing or the other. Then this doesn't look right, isn't it? If health and well-being was my true divine nature, then how come I don't feel that way? And how come I don't come across people that way? Isn't it? That's the question. So let's start with understanding, and then we will go and understand why we don't see it or why don't we feel connected to this particular divine nature. This is the second principle I'm talking about. So first of all, very important to understand that illness and diseases are the result of mass beliefs and the resulting fears that block our emotional flow. It's very important to understand. So I will take a minute or two for those who haven't heard this before, the concept. So I use this word, the fears that block our flow. Now we are talking about the emotional flow. Now I'm going to step back one more layer inside. Whether it's emotional, mental, physical, what did I say was the building block? Energy. Energy is the building block. When we have the holistic living workshop in a couple of weeks down the track, I will go into the detailed science about it, but for today's discussion, very important to understand that our physical body, what we see, what you are seeing on the physical part is only less than 10% of who you are. The other 90% of what you are is not visible. And unfortunately, the way we are leading our life, we are not even connected to that 90% through our mental body. Normally, we should be, even though if we can't see it with our naked eyes, if our intuition should always be connecting us to that 90% of who we are. But we are not. Why? Because we have turned a deaf ear towards that 90%, because the material world that we live, we only believe what we see, what we feel through our sensory organs. We do not believe our intuition. If somebody believes on intuition and says, oh my God, look at me, I believe intuition, we think he or she is stupid. You know, if someone says, look, I feel a sixth sense, you know, I'm thinking about it, and they will look at it and say, oh my God, that's a miracle. But how stupid are we that we don't understand that we are miraculous beings? That is why in self-empowerment, I have put it as a definition that this miraculous thinking is part of us. We should go to a level where we shouldn't feel that it's a miracle. When will we feel that it's not a miracle? When we start to understand that it is our nature. When you understand and accept that it's your nature, you will put an effort to connect to it. So let's do the understanding part. Then we can do the connecting part. Connecting part is left up to you. Understanding part is my job to work with you to make you understand what it is. Now, to understand this part, I said physical part. So behind the physical body, for today's understanding, there is another body called etheric body or the energy body that supports the physical body. So let me talk about this energy body, which is behind, which we call in Sanskrit, the physical body is called Annamaya Kosha and the energy body is called the Pranamaya Kosha. So today, for this particular principle of divine nature, health and well-being, we are going to talk about Pranamaya Kosha, which is our energy body that supports our physical body. Without energy body, our physical body cannot function. Every process, digestion, reproduction, the cardiac, the nervous system, the endocrine system, everything, the so-called systems in our physical body are only able to function as long as their corresponding system in the energy body is functioning. I'll talk to you in 1 second what is that energy body. If energy body is not functioning, then you will see the results on your physical body. So for a minute, let me quickly talk to you. Some of you understand this energy body, but for most of the people who, maybe if you have never heard or if you have heard little, let me spend a couple of minutes what this energy body is about. Our energy body cannot be seen with our naked eye because it's energy. We can't see energy with our naked eye. If electricity is passing through the conduit, can you see electricity? No, but if you catch the electric wire, what will happen? You will get you get electrocuted. So to prove that there is energy, electricity flowing through this copper wires, you're not going to go repeatedly touching the wire. after a certain understanding, you realize. Similarly, once you understand and you connect to what it is, you start functioning from the energy body level, and that's what my effort is. So this energy body, what it is? Energy body is, if I can tell you, it is just a parallel replica of the physical body. It's got exactly the same contours that our physical body boundary has, exactly like that. If you can visualize, that is the energy body, and it's got like a grid system. You know how the electric circuitry has got a grid? Similarly, the energy body has also got a grid system. It's called Nadi Mandala Vyavastha. In English, we can call it the energy channels. So the whole energy body has got channels. It'll have a big channel, then small channels, and then branches of the channel, just like nervous system, how the nerves have got branches. Exactly, this energy body has got branches and branches and branches. To give you an understanding how intense this is, our energy body has got 72,000 energy channels working. To have the physical body functioning completely, around 72,000 energy channels have to be functioning at its full limit. If any of that 72,000 energy channels has got either a little bit of malfunctioning, you will start seeing it on the physical body. So very important to understand, because the root is not your physical body, the root is happening at the energy body, and the fruit is what? The manifestation of the disease. You're seeing it on the physical body. So to understand your health and well-being is your right, you need to understand the energy body very clearly. You have to keep your energy body intact to make sure that you are close to your health and well-being. When you were created, you always had a perfect operating system. Your operating system was perfect. Your energy, now where does the energy come into the energy body? Energy body receives its energy from the cosmic life force, the prana shakti which is there in the universe. Every cell of every organism is getting its energy from the cosmic life energies, the universal life force which is existing all around. If that wasn't there, none of us would be existing. Whether we understand or not, when we are sleeping, we are replenishing our life force energy, because when we are up in the morning and we are doing our activity, we are using up all that energy to function, to talk, to do this, to do that. So we feel exhausted. Why we feel exhausted? Because that life force energy, the output is more than what's the input. So you see, when you're too tired, you say, I want to sleep. So what is happening in the sleep? When you are in the sleep, you're not spending any of that life force, cosmic life force, universal life energy. At that time, in your sleep, you are replenishing the cosmic life force energy. But the rate at which the cosmic life force energy is coming, even in your sleep, is hindered by your thought. Even in the sleep, we are not sleeping a sound sleep. There is always, the mind is always operating. When you can go into thoughtless state, the cosmic life energy can flow through your body unhindered. Unhindered means without any blocks. As long as you're thinking, it is like a jungle in your brain, the cosmic energy will not flow efficiently. So that's why I'm now trying to connect it with meditation. That is why in meditation, we make sure, doesn't matter what form of meditation you do, but you try to reach that thoughtless stage so that you give your body an opportunity to the life force energy to flow freely. Now, where is this life force energy coming? This life force energy is not coming into your physical body. This life force energy is coming into your pranamaya kosha, the energy body that I'm talking about, which is just behind your physical body, supporting your physical body. So when you were created, all your channels were nice and open, and the cosmic life and life force is nicely flowing everywhere. So for every system to operate perfectly on the physical body, you have certain number of channels supporting it. For example, your nervous system. For nervous system in your physical body to work well, let us say 10,000 energy channels in the energy body should be functioning properly. What happens if that 10,000 doesn't work properly? If maybe a couple of hundreds are down, then you will see some kind of problem in your nervous system. It will manifest immediately into your physical body. So now with that understanding, I will tell you why they don't function. Now we need to understand first of all what it is, and then understand why it is not functioning. So if everything was good and everything in the when we were created has been given with perfect balance, why have we reached the way we have reached with all these ailments and illness? It is because we have not looked after our energy body. What do you mean not looking after energy body? Very important to understand that human physical body is not the only body, I said. Now behind the physical body, I said you have pranamaya kosha, the energy body. Now behind the energy body, there is another body called manomaya kosha, emotional body. I'm going to talk about this in great detail in the holistic living workshop, but I need to explain you why it is happening. So I'm doing it in as quickly as possible. But so let me take this opportunity to explain. So remember, there are 3 layers. There are more layers. Let's not talk about it now. So for today's discussion, physical body, energy body, mental body. So your physical body is supported by your energy body. And remember, the mental body has lot of impact on your energy body. So your energy body, which is in between your mental body, which is manomaya kosha, and your physical body, annamaya kosha, it's a very fine balance between these 3 bodies. If everything is going well, if everything is perfect, then your 72,000 energy channels will have the energy flowing freely. The cosmic energy will be flowing up and down through the 72,000 channels. To give you an example, you know the water pipes. You know, in our house, we all have got plumbing. So when the water is flowing freely through this plumbing, you know, water will go at proper velocity. Everyone will have full pressure. But imagine if there is clog in the pipeline, then what will happen? The outcome is you will not be getting water properly on the other side. Exactly the same way our energy body works. When these energy channels, I talked about 72,000 energy channels, if any one or more energy channels get blocked, semi-blocked or completely blocked, then energy will not flow through that particular energy channel, and whatever system in the physical body that energy channel is supporting will start having problems and eventually develop into, you know, tumors, cancers, migraine. It can come in any form and intensity. Now the question is, why are we seeing the blocks in the energy body? Very important to understand why we are seeing that blocks. You know, the modern science, the modern medicine cannot relate to this energy system. The day they can relate it to energy system, it will be a big breakthrough. It will be the biggest breakthrough of mankind. But we are going off that path. It will still take time. But for the current time, we have to understand that the Western medicine does not go beyond the symptoms, what they see. They do not understand how things form. You know, there are researches going on. It could be because of that. It could be because of that. Sometimes most of things they say it is stress, but they are not able to relate it. They cannot relate the mental state of the person to disease. All they can say is stress. So to understand the blocks that I'm talking in the energy channels, where are they caused from? They are caused by the mental body. Manomaya kosha in Sanskrit. What is the mental body? Mental body is that body at which level all our emotions are generated. All our emotions happen at the manomaya kosha, the mental body state. That's why I'm saying we know so little of ourselves. If we know so little of ourselves, how can we be close to our divine nature? No way. Hence this discussion is required. You know, we may not have enough time to go through much detail, but through this discussion, if I can ignite that quest in you, you will go, you will find more, and you will connect to your divine nature. That is my little effort through this workshop. So in the manomaya kosha, I said that is the level where your emotions are generated. So let's talk about emotions. There are different kind of emotions that we have. You know, hatred, love, this, that, different emotions. My dear friends, we all like to brand them as positive and negative because that is the language we understand. So I'm also going to brand the same kind of a category to make you understand. All the negative emotions, When you are through your positive emotion like love, the high frequencies, when you are going through love, through bliss, the frequencies are quite high and they are almost at the frequency of pure consciousness. So they are very subtle. They will not cause any block. But when you are going through negative emotions, you can feel in your heart, when you hate somebody, you know how you feel, your heart is dragging down. When you feel dejected, you understand what our negative emotions are. Let's talk about negative emotions and then we will talk how they are generated. So these negative emotions over long time, if you just have one thought, like you don't like a person, for example, there is a person in your life, you know, you don't like him because you don't like his behavior or his or her attitude towards you. You don't like it. So whenever you see, you feel like, oh my God, I feel cheated. Just an example, whenever you see that person, you feel cheated and you feel that. After a while, the person need not even come in front of you. Just the name of the person will give you the same kind of emotional response. Emotional responses are very dangerous, good or bad, we should understand, because it is addiction. You know, we like to have good ones because we like good ones, we like good addiction like morphines and all. We feel, oh, it's so good, takes us high. But why we don't like them now? Because we understood that there are negative sides of it. If only morphine had no negative side to it, I bet each and everyone would take morphine and sit there happily, because it gives you that high kick. People do not advocate the drugs because we know there is negativity to it. So this topic is not about drug, but giving you an example. Emotions are like that. They are addictive. The trigger of the emotion need not be there. You know, the person may not be there in front of you, but just the thought of that person can give you that emotions. These negative emotions over and over repeatedly, they cause blocks. They cause energy blocks in your energy channel. And sometimes these emotions may not be as a result of couple of years. Again, friends, we are intergenerational being, or we call transgenerational species. The personalities, the vasanas, our, you know, what we develop, it does not come with 1 year of our nature. Decades of our behavior, decades of our personality development causes what we are today. So we have to be so careful, because if the emotions are not channeled properly, these negative emotions cause block in the energy channels, and over time these blocks can stop the flow of cosmic energy in that channel, and over time that will manifest as disease in the physical body, because if that part has to work well, all the corresponding energy channels have to flow freely. So I'm trying to give you a small synopsis of how emotions play such a big role in our physical ill health. So my dear friends, if health and well-being is our true nature, then why are we not able to see? This is why we are not able to see. Because we do not know what the true meaning of forgiveness is. You know, if I ask somebody to forgive, if you had a fight with your friend, and if I come to you and say, that's okay, you know, please forgive the person, you know what you think? That you're doing other person a favor by forgiving. My dear friends, what I want to explain to you is, if you forgive the other person, you are not doing a favor to him. You are doing a favor to yourself, because when you truly forgive the other person, you slowly overcome your emotions for that other person. When you come out of that emotion, you clear your emotional block in the energy channel, and by that you can clear your health. Every ill health, including diabetes. You know, there are so many experiments going on at the moment. I know, because I have visited that centers and those people who are doing these experiments, that how they are treating thyroid by music, how they are treating diabetes with, you know, trying to be generous, because there is a school of thought, and there's a research going on, that selfishness causes diabetes. So this is not just one, there are 2-3 aspects that causes diabetes, because diabetes has become such a big epidemic everywhere, and mostly in India. There are experiments going, where is the diabetes coming from? And we think it is sugar. Sugar is quite a late symptomatic reason. It has caused by our behavior. So people are trying to work at the emotional level to understand what are the things we can change. But the most simple answer, my dear friends, is forgiveness. You forgive yourself and you forgive everyone that comes into your life. Do not hold grudge against anybody, because you are creating your own problem by holding emotional blocks against others. Very important. At the end of this topic, I'm going to tell you the one and the most important topic. Even if you forget everything, I don't care. But if you want to be a healthy person, please practice forgiveness. There are a lot of people who have already started. Nothing is easy. Never things are easy. What is easy? Was walking easy when we were born? It took us more than months to walk. Our parents used to hold us and make us walk. We used to hold the walls and walk. Nothing is easy, my dear friend. If we have learned walking, if we have learned talking, I'm sure we can learn forgiveness. It doesn't take long. Many people, they say, oh, meditation is so difficult, so difficult. They do 41 days challenge, 1 hour every day, whether time or no time. Even they will cut their sleep and do it. Why? Because they want to change their life. When you want to change your life, I'm saying you don't even change life. Get connected to who you are by forgiveness. Practice forgiveness, not for others. Don't be so particular about things. Everything is perfect the way it is. That is the problem. We think things are not perfect. Things are just perfect the way they are, my dear friends. We have to set it right. Whatever you are in this situation, that is how it is meant to be. Otherwise, it would not have been that way. If I'm talking now and I'm feeling hot, this is how it is meant to be for me at this moment. If it was not, then there would be some reason somebody would come and switch off the heater and it would cool down. So don't complain. Do not complain. If you can change the situation, change it. I always tell people, if you can change the situation, change it. If you cannot change the situation and you don't like it, what do you do? Separate yourself from the situation. Pay attention to what I'm saying. This happens every time in our lives. We don't like things. Things come into our life. Oh, I don't like this. This is a challenge. That's the challenge. First thing is, can you change it? Yes. Change it. What are you waiting for? No, I can't change it. Then move away from the situation. Move away. So many people ring me up. I've got problem in my job. I tried to do everything. I'm having problem. I'm having problem. For all those people, I'm telling, not only job is only an example. Listen to me carefully. If you can change your situation, change it. If you don't like the job, change the job. If you don't like the department, get out of the department. If you want to change your situation in any other way, change it, leave the job, do anything. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you, change it if you have the capacity. If you feel you do not, then move away from that situation. Separate yourself. If both the options are not possible, what do? Accept the situation, because understand that is what it is meant to be. It has come to you for a learning. This is a universal truth, whether you believe it or not. When you leave this physical realm and go back, you will understand, but it's too late. This life has gone. While you are in the physical form, if you can understand, life will become easy and you can enjoy life like that. I am not theoretically saying. There are so many of us on these platforms who are changing their life by bringing forgiveness into their life or by accepting things. What I'm saying is, if you understand that this particular situation has come into your life because there is a learning for you, understand what it is. Maybe there is something to learn. Don't complain. Complaining will not change the situation. It will only put you into anxiety, depression, worst case, suicide attempts. I'm not condescending anyone. This is the truth of life. I'm trying to warn, this is how we ruin our life. But we are divine creatures. Our life is not supposed to be dealt this way, the way we are leading our lives. So my dear friends, if you want to be in touch with your complete health and well-being, then forgiveness is the only way to get back into your health and well-being. soon, very soon, once you start practicing forgiveness, you will see that your health and well-being is coming back to you in full form, Now, what is the third principle? Abundance. What is abundance? Abundance means plenty. Abundance means limitless. What is this? How can that be my divine nature? That is your divine nature, my dear friends. Our divine nature is that there is no lack for anything. Everything is in plenty. Everything is in abundance. Abundance means there is no limit. Life's purpose is to feel that abundance. But do we really feel that? Most of us are feeling lack. You know, we always feel that scarcity, lack, limitation. Everywhere you see there is competition. Why is there competition? When things are limited, competition, survival of the fittest, you have to compete for everything. If there is only one job and there are 10 people, in the form of interview, you are competing with each other. If there were 10 jobs and 10 people, or 20 jobs and 10 people, you wouldn't call it competition, because each one of you can have more than 2 jobs, or each one of you can pick and choose your job. But how come we do not see this abundance in our life, and all we see is scarcity, limitation? Everywhere there is only one thing. It's not enough. It's not enough. Competition. So when you are seeing lack, the other thing you will see is competition, and with that comes the hatred. Because when you are competing for the same thing with others, you do not want the other person to get what you want, and there start the different emotions at your mental level. Why? Because you are not able to feel that abundance which is part of your nature. So, first of all, understand what life purpose is. Life purpose is to move beyond lack, beyond scarcity, and the limitations that we have formed for ourselves. Experience can be valuable for learning certain lessons, but not required as a learning tool. Some experiences come to you, sometimes you feel that there is a lack of something, but when you recognize that it's only an experience and you stop feeling attached to it, the moment that experience comes into your life, it will go away. But before that, you need to understand that your nature is abundance. You are the source of your own abundance. Through uncovering your beliefs concerning lack and scarcity, you can begin to create abundance in every area of your life. Again, it is back to your belief system. Through centuries, the society, your family has fed you and developed your personality, saying that there is not enough of things. You have to fight, you have to compete. That is our belief system. What did I say was belief system? When you think the same thing again and again. So this belief system has led us to believe after centuries that there is nothing like abundance, so we don't feel it. Now, the problem is, why? Where is the problem? We have built a society that thrives and works from fear-based emotions. There are 2 kinds of emotions. I have already said every emotion that you go through can be categorized as 2 types of emotions: love-based emotions and fear-based emotions. Any emotion that comes from fear-based emotion will lead to scarcity, limitedness. Remember that. Check every thought, every emotion that comes out of you. You have to think about it, that is it coming from love-based or fear-based emotion? Very important. When you work from fear-based emotion, you will know it. Fear means what? You will start doing things that you are coming out of fear. So, exclusion, elimination, when you do not want to include people, or you want to do something behind anyone's back, these are the fear-based emotion. They are result of a society built on fear-based emotion. So you will know straight away. Very easy to understand whether it's a fear-based emotion or love-based emotion. Now, compassion, when you feel compassion for people, inclusion, consultation, when you talk to people and you take their opinion and you consult people, you have compassion for people, you straight away know that these are the products of a society built on a love-based emotion, that spiritually empowered people can contribute. And people, when they are working on the platform where they understand their true nature, people start to understand what's the difference between fear-based emotion and love-based emotion. Now the question is, why does the society in general work from fear-based emotion? Why are we seeing this fear-based emotion, this competition, this survival, and this exclusion? Because the belief system says that everything is limited, so you have to compete for it. Survival of the fittest, that's I said before, that's become the story of our life. So unhealthy competition, fear, uncertainty, anxiety leads to depression and quitting life game. So this is all leading to the epidemic of the mental epidemic that we are all seeing, because it's our thought system. So let us see the definition. We are talking about fear-based emotion and love-based emotion. We talked what love is, but what is fear? We are talking about fear-based emotion, so let's talk what is fear. What is fear? Fear is non-acceptance of uncertainty. Problem is, we want our life exactly written down and planned to the nth level. That is how we human beings have become. Everything has to be planned. We want to orchestrate our life to the nth level. Anything uncertain, we can't handle. Uncertainty, as a human species, we have lost the touch of uncertainty. There is no, we don't even want to feel it. So when you do not want to experience uncertainty, you will have non-acceptance of uncertainty, which becomes your fear. That is your fear. Oh my God, we don't know what's going to happen. Well, what will happen? Let it happen. That is not your way of life. Your way of life is, oh my God, I'm worried that something may happen to my life, and that creates fear. When you start accepting that uncertainty, what does it become? It becomes adventure. See, such a fine line between fear and adventure. People who live with adventure, they enjoy life. People who live in fear, they end up in mental asylums. See how much difference, just a fine line. One says, I cannot accept uncertainty. The other one is saying, it's okay, let it come my life. Wait, I'll handle it. I'll see what I can do. My dear friends, the whole life is such a fine line. I showed you between hatred and love, what a fine line we had. Between anger and tolerance, what a fine line we had. Now I'm telling you the fine line between fear and adventure. That is how we are. So now we said this is what abundance is. How do we bring abundance into our life? How can we feel abundance? That is the problem. Everyone only feels scarcity. They're saying, I don't feel that everything is abundant in my life. So start practicing gratitude. Doesn't matter you do not have what you are aiming for. You know, you may be aiming for 10 cars, 10 houses. Does not matter. Make a list of 1 or 2 things without which your life would not be possible. And be grateful for that 1 or 2 things. My dear friends, we have lost what is the goals in life. The other day I was saying, I asked somebody, can you please, this is in one of my counseling sessions, I could see the confusion in the person and I said, can you please put your goals on piece of paper? He said, oh madam, I can't do it right now, give me time. I said, okay, it doesn't matter, come tomorrow. The next day, he came with 3 A4 sheet paper and it listed from 1 to 60. These are my goals. I looked at the sheet and I said, this is not your goal, this is your wish list. This is all nice to have. What are goals? Goals means that 1 or 2 things in your life. When you achieve that, you feel that yes, my life mission is complete. You don't have 60 things in your life for making your life complete. This is where we human species have lost the plot. So my dear friends, maybe not a bad idea to write that 1 or 2 things that matter to you the most. If it goes more than 2, remember it is not goal. It is your wish list. And people who have wish list will never be happy, because you take things, have wish list, but if you get attached to that, then you cannot do nishkama karma. In my karma workshop, I clearly said, if you want to have a happy life on this earth plane, Do your job with least attachment, which is called nishkama karma. Do your karma with least attachment, detached attachment. Have attachments, but detached attachments. So, very important. You want to be happy, isn't it? That's the only motto in our life. Why do you want a big bungalow? Because it makes me happy to live in a big bungalow. Why do you want a big car? Because I feel great. So everything ends up in being happy, like I said in my last workshop. So make what is your goal in life, just write it down, because that's what you're living for. Before that, coming back to the topic, those one or two things, if you can't find 10 things, I'm sure there'll be two things in your life that because of which your life is feasible, otherwise it would be closed chapter. Write it down and start practicing gratitude. How do you practice gratitude? Be thankful that you have a shelter on your head. How many people are there who are living on streets as homeless? Have we ever even thought about it? We have taken it for granted. I'm an engineer, I should have a bungalow. Who said that if you are an engineer or educated person, you should have a house? There are so many people who are broke. What about food? You have food to eat. People who have two hands to work, you be happy that you have got two hands, two eyes. Look at the, I know you must be saying, oh madam, I know all this. Why are you telling me the same thing? I'm telling you the same thing because you may be knowing, but if you want to see abundance, you have to practice gratitude. Why? Because again, law of attraction comes back. In the last workshop, I told you how law of attraction works. Whatever you are channeling your thought, the universe will channel all its energy to make it happen. If you are sending out a vibration of lack, I told this, if you are always thinking about scarcity, I don't have this, I don't have that, universe will match your vibration with exactly more and more of that. And what you're going to get is more lack, more scarcity, more turmoil in your life. So if you want to turn the tables and play the game, pick one or two things that you're grateful for. When you get up in the morning, it's another beautiful day, time to be thankful for. So if you are a person who get up and do meditation, then make sure that you start your meditation with 1 minute gratitude at least. 2 or 3 is great. List out all the things that you're grateful for. Thank the universe. And when you do it from the bottom of your heart, because when you think about it, the vibration should go out. You should feel it. It's not like you're saying one thing, but your heart says, I don't feel grateful. That's not going to work, my dear friends. You can't cheat the universe. You cannot cheat the energy system. We're talking about energy here. You can say anything to me, but if your energy is saying, I don't feel grateful, nothing will happen. That's why I said, don't fake it. Don't make it up. Bring one or two things which you really feel grateful. I feel grateful about connecting to you all. I really feel grateful that all you great people have come into my life. So every morning when I wake up, I thank universe for being connected to such great like-minded people. And that makes my day. And more like-minded people come into my life and make my day. It happens every day. And for me, that is abundance. For me, that is abundant. I can't ask for more. So you pick that one or two things that you feel that you have, which you're grateful for. Start your day, and this will become your habit. Your belief system will change, and you will see more and more abundance in your life. I am practicing this, my dear friends. With that authority, I can request you to practice that in your life. If you want to better your life, it will start with gratitude. Now, what's the fourth principle? The fourth and the last principle that I'm going to talk on this platform for today, which is our true nature, is creativity. That is true, my dear friends. This is at the core of all our beings. We create our own reality and experience. As we create, we discover more of what we are through observing and experiencing our creation. That is true. You know what? Give a small example. Many of you must be having children. When children are born, you feel like, oh my God, they are my children. And as they start talking, as they start walking, you live their experience with them. And through them, you start to develop yourself. How many people have said like unconditional love? I've only seen unconditional love, or I've felt only unconditional love after I had children. This is what life is all about. You create experiences and then you live your experience to understand who you are. And that is what this whole creation is about, my dear friends. We are not coming here for any challenge or for punishment. Life is not a punishment. We have come here for certain experiences. For that experiences, we have created situation with the help of this universe system. And that experiences, when it comes to our life, we are supposed to have that experience for which we came here. But instead of that, we keep cursing with, oh my God, it's so hard, I can't live this experience. But you forget that you were the one who were mastermind behind this experience that has come to your life. You have created it. People do not understand this. First of all, remember, you create your own reality. That is number one. Many of us have forgotten our creativity by believing that the ways in which you can express yourself are only limited to certain roles and functions, and you think you can only do some things. No, you can do anything that you can put your mind and intention to. So, problem is, when we talk about creation, one thing people totally forget, how is manifestation happening? Manifestation means physical manifestation. If that's what you understand, let's go at that level discussion. Even physical manifestation, that happens only, it starts from thought. Thought is energy. I have already mentioned thought is an energy. So the creation happens first here. Your energy comes out in thought form. When you keep having the same thought again and again and with pure intent, that thought is an energy which then manifests into the form that you're looking for. Do not forget that. It is so important that creativity is your main skill. But no, we don't believe in ourselves, and that's why we don't see our creativity. So what is the tool that will show that our creative nature? Self-appreciation. In many of our cultures, we've been taught not to pat our own back. We say, oh no, that's not good. You should not blow your trumpet. Okay. If that's what you believe, do not blow your trumpet to others. But when it comes to you, appreciate yourself, pat your back. Well done, Saroja. You know, even small things, even routine things. If you have polished your shoes nice and shiny, oh, well done, Saroja. Make it a habit. Make it a habit to appreciate, enjoy. You know, don't say, it's only shoe polish. What's the big deal? It has to start. The self-appreciation starts at some level. When self-appreciation is in full mode, you will be totally connected to your true creativity. It is very, very important. Once I have talked to you about this self-appreciation, it is so important that the two key things that the humanity needs to focus in the present time to have the overall growth and development. I've given you so many things. I've given you 4 principles, and I've also taught you how to bring that principle to surface so that you can connect to it. If you can't remember all these 8 things, if you can remember just 2 things, that is good enough as a key takeaways from the workshop. One is love, and the second one is forgiveness. Once you start practicing true love, which is accepting everything the way it is and allowing everyone to be who they are without interfering, you will see a dramatic change in your life. And the next thing is forgiveness. When you start forgiving, you will see that change in your personal health. So love will change your circumstances outside, and forgiveness will change your internal physical dynamics. So my dear friends, if you can't remember anything else, if you can't remember gratitude or self-appreciation or loving or anything, the 2 things that you can remember is that love and forgiveness. Now, I've put this small thing here which will help you for your self-appreciation. When you say this again and again, it helps you. Many people say, I don't understand how to self-appreciate. Do this every morning, do this every night. I am doing it and it's making a big difference to my life. You start believing it. I am a happy soul. My body is healthy. My relationships are in perfect harmony. My work is perfect. My life is beautiful. When you start saying this again and again, the gratitude comes within you. You really feel you're a happy soul. You really start feeling that your body is healthy. It doesn't matter how sick you are. Mind has that much power. When you keep saying something and believing it, the wheel starts turning in the other direction. Keep saying this. I'm a happy soul. My body is healthy. My relationships are in perfect harmony. My work is perfect. My life is beautiful. When you say this, create the thought. Start visualizing it. And visualization means that's the path to making reality. Now people ask me how often. The least you can do is morning and before going to bed. Otherwise, it takes like 10 seconds. Do it every hour. It's going to make such a dramatic change in your life. 5 lines. You can say that anytime and just feel, I'm a happy soul. My body is healthy. My relationships are in perfect harmony. My work is perfect. My life is beautiful. How difficult it is to say that. And the more we say it, my dear friends, you'll be surprised that you start believing it and you start creating a thought, you start visualizing, and visualization is the most effective way of manifestation. So each one of you desires to express in these ways. I told you 4 important things. I gave you 4 as your divine nature. What were the 4 things? Just as a recap: love, health and well-being, abundance, creativity. Each one of you desire to express in these ways, to live a life full of love, to experience health and well-being, and to create freely, to assist you in remembering who you are. I encourage you to begin the daily conscious practice of these qualities, meditating upon these, writing them down. I'm going to send you that one chart that shows all the 4 divine quality and how to bring it into your life. So I'm going to send that to Shri, and Shri can pass it. And on my other groups, I will put that. I will also put this chart of self-appreciation so that you can practice. Remember, we are creators, for we exist within the mind of God. And what is God? God is nothing but this universal consciousness that connects us all and tap directly into the consciousness in every moment of our existence, whether or not we acknowledge it. It doesn't matter whether you acknowledge it, whether you believe it or not, but this is the truth of our life. When we start believing, when we start making effort to connect to our divine divinity, we will be surprised that our belief system gets shattered. So this workshop finishes here. If not, just remember these 2 things, love and forgiveness. And the next 2019 workshop in the UK time zone that we will do will be karma. What goes around comes around. I will let you all know through Shri when we will do that. And again, before I close this self-empowerment, I've always insisted that build a support network or be part of the support network that think on this high principles of life. Do not get involved in small talks. Never let negative energy pull you down, because your divine nature. If anyone is going through anxiety, depression, you have a better understanding of life. Share with them your understanding. If people need to open up, give them that listening ear. If people need a shoulder, give them that shoulder to cry. Let's create self-empowered conversation. Let's build and be part of the self-empowered community where individuals believe in themselves and have miraculous thinking that aids in overall growth of humanity. Let's together make this world a better place to live. With that, I conclude the session. And if anyone needs my email or my telephone number, you can contact Shri and she will give it to you. And for others, who are connected to me through support groups, you all have my contact numbers. With that, I conclude this session. Thank you very much. If anyone has questions, I'm more than happy to take questions. Thank you very much for your valuable time. I know you're all connected from different time zones, and I'm totally aware that I've got people from US. It must be like middle of the night and different time zones. I don't even realize. But I owe you all a lot, When I connect to you, I can feel your energies. So thank you all for giving me your valuable time. Over to you guys.
Thank you so much, ma'am. What an incredible session, ma'am. Really grateful to you. Such an enlightening session on this Enlightenment Day, Buddha Purnima Day. Truly, truly, truly grateful, ma'am. Really, practice is the key. Yes, I will implement all your teachings and whatever I learned in this session in my practice. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Shri.
Yeah. So, friends, if anyone have anything to share or have any doubts, please ask, ma'am.
Any feedback, comment is also appreciated. It need not be questions alone. Anything you want to share. This is a very open flat platform. You all know I'm very happy to listen. You know, it's all sharing and growing with the support of each other.
Thank you, ma'am. It's such a enlightening workshop today. We all talk about that you create your own reality, but you explain in your own, the fantastic way, in such a grateful way. Everyone can easily understand, implement in their own life. Thanks a lot, and we hope to see you many more sessions in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi.
Um, I want to say thanks to Universe, first of all, to connecting to such a wonderful people, Saroja ma'am, Lakshmi, Sri Lakshmi, Ravi. You know, I never thought I will be coming across all great people like you, but today I realized myself that, you know, it happened with me. I'm very much thanks to Universe and thanks to you all as well. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful session, ma'am, once again, and I'm really happy to, you know, listening to your sessions. This is my second session with you. It is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandeep. You know, you feel quite blessed to have been connected to us, but we've been connected for yonks, for ages, and I know that. And I'm
Thank
so
you.
thankful that we have got back again, Sandeep. We'll be there for
Thank you
each other.
so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I kind of learned a lot of information and you have a lot of knowledge. I have learned so much more in this path. Yeah, I really like the differentiation you said between fear and adventure. It really made my angle of looking in a different way and direction now. Yeah, thank you so much. It was really helpful for me, whole session. Yeah.
Thank you, Shanvi. And I agree with you. When I pondered upon that, like you, I was really surprised myself. I thought, is that all such a fine line between fear and adventure? Because many times we don't want to do things out of our comfort zone because we have that fear of uncertainty. But on that one or two occasions when we have the courage to step in that unknown territory, we are not that disappointed because what an adventure comes is waiting there. So I totally share what you're saying because I feel the same. Thank you very much.
Hello, friends. Please share your experience and your feedback about the session because expression is the really wonderful. It is our true nature. Just express yourself out. How the session, how you felt about the session.
And also I wanted to add, I gave two examples. You know how when I was talking about allowing that, you know, we don't like people for various reasons, and I gave you my example. Like I sure I don't like greedy people. I don't like snobs. And when I started going deeper and deeper, I realized that the problem was within me, and I was like projecting onto others. I would really love to see, you know, what are that one or two things each of you are stuck on, and not a bad idea. No one has to be wrong or right. There's nothing wrong or right in this world, honestly. How can we judge something is wrong for others? Our journeys are different, our goals are different, we're all unique. So I would love to see, you know, how you perceive the experiences in your life, what bothers you in others, and how you have gone through that digging deep, and has it ended with any limitation within you. um, so I would really love to see, you know, need not be today, you know, I want to share with Shri, but I will definitely put these examples to Shri so that she can share with the group. So I'm going to share 3 things with Shri. One is the table that shows the 4 natures, our divine nature, and the tools to connect to them. And I will do that self-appreciation thing that, you know, my soul is happy, my body is healthy. That really helps. So I'll share that. And number 3, I'll share this, my thinking about what I don't like in people, and then how I dug deep and got stuck within myself. So it may help you with your thinking. But honestly, you know, share, friends. We only learn from each other through sharing. We're all learning. This knowledge is never complete. There is so much to go. It's so beautiful. The creation is beautiful. The more we learn, we don't get scared of anything. Everything is so beautiful. It's just that we can't see it. We are so working on the surface. We're just scratching the surface. We're so beautiful every way, you know, deep inside, outside, and everything is just perfect. There's nothing to change. You know, don't even think slide that things have to change. It's just perfect. When you start accepting it, when you think it's perfect, you'll just accept it, and then the magic will start. Things will just change. So just sharing what I feel about it. So I have a message here, Shri, that someone missed the previous class, apparently, the happiness. I know you have the audio recording of that, so you can share with Sanvi. So Sanvi, Shri has an audio recording of my previous session, so if you really want, you can ask her, she'll give it to you.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
madam. Thank you. It's Santosh and Supriya here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't see your name. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we didn't realize it was. Sanvi is my daughter's name.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, okay.
Yeah.
So Shri has the recording of my
Yeah.
audio recording. She did a very good recording, very crystal clear, and thanks to Shri. So if you ask her, she'll give it to you.
Yes, I'm sure they have the sessions recordings. Yeah, I'll ask them and I will listen.
I have already shared in the group, but I will be resharing to you. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, thank you, Sri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madam, one more thing, like when you said to look deep inside why we get angry on few circumstances, like I recently, like I felt like whoever doesn't look after their parents when they get older, that I couldn't take that at all. Really, it made me feel so bad about it. I have to look deep inside why I'm feeling so much against those people who don't take care of the parents when they are older.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the name? I was calling you by your daughter's name. I didn't get your name.
My name is Supriya.
Supriya. Supriya, if you can wait till one more session, your answer will come very elaborately. The next session, that through help of Shri, that I will be doing for you guys is about karma, and the answer will be crystal clear.